Hey everybody, this is Nikita back again with another episode with Faith Life Music, where we give you biblical perspectives on real life matters, because your life matters. So this episode is called Check Your Attitude. Now, relationships, people, we all go through it. But what do we do when we come across someone that thinks different, does different, or just does the same thing that we do daily, but they just have a different way of doing it, right? Differences will arise, and those differences sometimes will either create frustration or conflict. But what do we do in that matter? What happens? So even as believers, yes, you could all be loving Jesus, but even your friends that love Jesus in your house, family, your household, everybody that loves Jesus, doesn't mean that we're all going to get along. So that's why it's so important to check our attitudes. You're challenged and I'm challenged today. So we're going to go first in the New Testament to the book of James. And it's really a book on conduct and how to not just read the word, but live it out and do it, right? And so we today, as well as reading the word, we want to do what the word says. So James 1, verse 19, it says, "Notice, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger." But one thing that I could see from that right away as we dissected, in order to be slow to anger, what if we were quick to hear? What if we were slow to speak? That would be a recipe to help us be slow to anger. But also when you think about it, in order to be quick to hear, that means I have to be other-centered. Right? I want to know what the other person has to say before I break in and tell them what I want to say. So are you other-centered? Right? In order to be slow to speak, I again have to be other-centered. Do I want to hear before I interrupt? And when I speak, do I do it in such a way where it's gentle or kind, or is it in a way that's abrupt and rude because I have to say what I need to say? You get it? So there's an attitude here that's being discussed in how to communicate. Yeah, hearing we all do, but are you quick to do it? Yeah, speaking we all do, but are you slow? Because if you say something too quickly, you can't take those words back. You will have regret, and you might have damaged a relationship that you actually care for, right? And so we see over and over again in this book how to conduct. But let's also look at the Old Testament. We see another example over and over again of what does it look like to conversate. I mean, Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 17 says, "The words of the wise heard in quiet are better than the shouting of a ruler among fools." I don't want to be a fool, and I sure would prefer to be wise. So the wiser choice is, right, to be soft-spoken, not just screaming it all over because you have a point to make. Let's look at another verse in Proverbs. Proverbs 15, verse 1. It says, "A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." So here you have it again. Are you choosing to answer in such a way that's gentle and soft, or is it abrupt? I mean, even if you were right, do you always have to argue to prove your point to be right? We see literally our example, Jesus Christ. He didn't always have to argue to prove his point. There were people that were questioning, "Are you the Messiah? Who are you?" And sometimes he would just say, "Who do you say I am?" See, he knew who he was, that he didn't have to constantly defend all the time his status or his being. He was going to do what he was going to do anyway. If they believed or not, that wasn't the point. So why argue with a fool, or why have so much anger? And a lot of times when we have anger, let's be honest, it either is to defend or promote our being right, our agenda, right? But our anger doesn't promote righteousness of God. God has righteous anger. We, not so quickly. Be quick to defend ourselves, quick to promote ourselves. So today, as you're thinking about your attitude, as you think about your relationships, be quick to listen, be slow to speak, and be slow to anger. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And we're so happy that you're here and joining our community. Come back again next week.